anything is possible in Dubai, right? I'm like, I want a swimming pool on every single balcony. And they're like, sure. I'm like, what? I'm like, I want each unit to have Versace ceramics everywhere. They're like,
Okay.
sure. I'm like, I want each room to be furnished, but I only want to charge people $400,000 and under. They're like, sure. I'm like, are you sure we're going to be able to make a profit off of this? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Fantastic.
Oh my God, Jason, you made me sweat because you made me sing out here for 8,000 people, and I'm like the worst singer in the room.
No, I was listening to you back there. I was
Sorry
like,
for that.
nah, come on. You were sounding good. You were sounding good. I like it.
Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you really just arrived a few minutes ago here in Wiesbaden. Tell us, where have you been before?
I was in LA for a minute, which has been really nice. Excuse me. I was in LA for a minute, which has been really nice because I've been taking some real time to focus on the music. You know, whenever I can just stop everything and just focus in on one thing, that's when, you know, great things happen. So I took like 6 months, and I've just been at the house recording every single evening, and it's been unbelievable.
It's so nice to have you here. I already told them that we met a few times for some interviews. Last year when you've been on tour here in Germany, and we're promoting Spicy Margarita with Michael Bublé. It was so much fun.
Yes, yes.
You always come back to Germany.
Oh, yeah.
What do you like about Germany?
Mostly, I love the people in Germany. I think the hearts here. Yes, yes. Give it up for yourself, for sure. I think the German people are really special, and whenever I come and do a concert here, it's really special because I feel the love, I feel the energy in a totally different kind of way. So it's always really, really special.
The energy is definitely in this room. You saw these 8,000 people dance to two of your songs. That was crazy. We all grew up with your music. I had to Google it, how long you're already in business. It's 15 years now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? 15 years, that's a long time.
It's a very long time. When people say, I grew up to your music, I'm like, shh. Don't say that.
It's so funny because we're the same age and I grew up with your music. Yeah.
No, I'm so humbled by it. I'm you know, the fact that I get to live my dream every single day is an absolute blessing. So much so that I wanted to, my biggest goal is to bring people into that same kind of success where they can live their dream. You know, a lot of people chase money, a lot of people chase fame, and I've had it all. You know, I've seen it all, and there's nothing more fulfilling than being able to just do what you love to do. My favorite moments in life were not when I bought a Lamborghini. My favorite moments in life was not when I bought any jewelry or was on some TV show. My favorite moments was the grind. You know, being in the studio 3 a.m. is like, remember that time when we was in the studio 3 a.m. and we wrote Riding Solo? Remember that time when, you know, we was in the gym so crazy and we ain't getting no sleep and then we had to wake up for the da-da-da? Those are my favorite times, you know? And I tell people all the time, the true dream is to be able to do what you love to do every single day.
But tell us, how do you... Yes. Applause for that. Well, so many kids here also. Tell us, how do you work on your music? How do you create your music? I mean, all your songs are going viral on TikTok, on Instagram. Is it about what people love? Is it about also analyzing trends? Or do you just go with your intuition?
When I'm creating the song, do I go with my intuition?
Yeah.
Well, when I'm creating the song, I'm going with my intuition, right? Because every night is experimentation. I don't know what's going to happen on any given night. When I go into the studio, I have a clear mind. I'll have a bunch of concepts. I write concepts all the time, so I can be sitting here with you, and we can be talking about something. I'll be like, "Oh, that's a good song concept," and I'll just jot it in my phone. So, depending on how I'm feeling on that evening, I'll go through a concept, and then I'll start a song based on that. And then I'll go through different sounds and get inspired by other music from different times, different countries, and start creating, But I never necessarily have a full plan, right? When you're being creative, I'm just allowing the creative juices to flow, and I'm being inspired more so of things that are not happening right now. I'm never really looking to the songs that are happening now and be like, let me do that. I'm always looking to other time periods or in other countries, or just trying to figure out something different so that I can match this world and put it together so that it can become something that has never been.
So it's always coming right from you,
yeah,
right to the crowd who loves your songs. I already said some viral songs in the last years were like Savage Love, Spacey Margarita, and also Let Me Take You Dancing. There are a lot of big artists out there who are still not on TikTok because they say, no, I don't need it for my music. You were one of the first who said, I use TikTok for my music. What did you make this move?
So I was terrible at social media. My entire career, I had sold millions of records, and people couldn't tell you that Jason Derulo sang this song or this song or this song. They kind of knew the name but didn't know my face with the name. And it was because I was always so terrible at social media, and I felt like I was missing that connection. So when the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm going to figure this social media thing out once and for all. So I set a plan for myself, and I said that I was going to post 6 times a day, non-negotiable. Like, I didn't negotiate with myself. It was going to be 6 times a day, no matter what. Now, posting 6 times a day is crazy. I don't know what made me choose that number. Like, that's a crazy
Sounds
number.
Stressful to me.
Man, for sure. But what it allowed me to do, it allowed me to learn about what I was posting. It allowed me to learn my audience because I was posting so many different kinds of things. When you have to post 6 times a day, you got to figure out what exactly you're going to post, right? So I was posting any and everything, as you can imagine.
You were baking a lot.
Yeah, I started cooking. I was dancing. I was doing funny videos. I was doing everything you can imagine because I had to meet that number. But I think that exercise was important for me because it let me out of my shell. Like I feel like I was in this shell, and I didn't want to allow people to come in. And as I was posting 6 times, it was like, okay, like it doesn't matter what I post. It didn't matter what I looked like necessarily. It didn't matter what the house looked like, because I think that was the problem. It was like always making an excuse for myself. The reason why I'm not posting is because I look like this, or the reason the house looks like this, so I don't want them to see that. I don't want them to see that. And I find that when we keep editing ourselves down until we're a version of ourselves online that's not ourselves at all. And I think the transparency and the organic nature of the light that you are is better than anything else. We all have a specific light. And I think TikTok has really allowed so many different lights to be shown in the world, because it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter who your household is or what your skin color is, or I think everybody is interesting in a different way. And I would implore to you to just post it. Like, don't leave it in the drafts. Just post it. You know what I'm saying? Every time you post is a new opportunity to go viral. It's like having a lottery ticket every single day, and then like not checking to see if you won or not. Every single time you post is a new opportunity for a new person to find you and fall in love with you for one reason or another.
Ihr habt ihn gehört. Jason Derulo sagt es genau wie alle anderen, die heute auf der Bühne gestehen haben. Ihr müsst einfach machen, an euch glauben. Sei es am Ende ein Unternehmen gründen oder sei es eben ein Video auf TikTok posten. Just do it. Ein Applaus dafür schon mal. What I have to say is, like, everything you do, and I really follow you around a lot of years already. We met a couple of times. You always look so easy. And I know it's hard work behind it. So let us know, did you had time of struggles in the past?
Oh yeah, I feel like it's always been struggles. I think we always remember the struggles more so than we remember the good things, right? But I'm thankful for each and every struggle, because my lowest moments in life have been the times where I had the biggest moments of growth. In 2013, I broke my neck, and I was preparing for my world tour, and it was a big moment for me because it was going to be my biggest tour yet. And I was preparing, and my whole life was ahead of me. I had this injury, and I didn't know what was going to happen to my health. I didn't know what was going to happen to my career. And I had to be basically bedridden for 7 months of my life. So I was like, what's going to happen to my career? So instead of being down on myself, instead of kind of falling into deep depression, again, I set a plan for myself, and non-negotiables. I got up every single morning at the same time. I went to the gym at the same time because all I could do is like walk in my neck brace like this.
Wow.
And I went to the studio at the same time every single day, and I worked for the same amount of time, basically every single day. And that became my biggest album that I ever had up to that point, because, I was down on my luck, but I wasn't down on myself. And within that time period, I was able to write some songs that you probably know and love. And that album had 6 platinum songs and became my biggest album yet.
Wow. Woo. That sounds really like hard work, hard mental work also. Mm-hmm. It has really been dark times in your past. But what kind of insecurities do you have today? Because you always feel so confident. You always look so self-confident. And as I said, like easygoing.
Yeah, I'm pretty easygoing, honestly. But insecurities. I feel like, man, as I've gotten into my 30s, I feel like it's been way harder to stay fit. Like, I feel like a middle-aged woman. I was like, my weight going up, going down. I'm like, dang, what's going on? And I've been able to kind of figure out what really works for me, and it's basically setting something that is sustainable. My whole life, I've been doing all kinds of crazy diets. Like, I was on a diet one time where I was just eating liquid fish. Like, I would blend tuna and then like drink it. I went on that diet. I've been, on every diet you could possibly imagine. I did it all. And within those crash diets, I was able to get like super shredded, and then some time would pass, and then like I would gain a little weight, But I feel like I've been able to find a balanced lifestyle where I can have enjoyment, and still be fit and still kind of live a normal life where I'm not like doing a crash diet and then letting myself go. So I guess that's probably my biggest insecurity, is like always, trying to be my actual best.
Haben wir auch das gelernt. Auch Superstars haben ihre Unsicherheiten. Wer hätte das gedacht? Thank you for sharing this with us.
Of course.
What a lot of people don't know about you is that over the last years, you became also a businessman. You own your businesses, you invest. At what point of your career did you notice for yourself that you want to do more than just music?
Pretty early on, actually. I started investing in companies pretty early on. I invested in all kinds of things, restaurants, tech, anything you could possibly imagine, because you never run across a deal across your desk that you don't think is a good idea. They all look like good ideas. They're like, yeah, that's probably gonna work. That's probably gonna work. That's probably gonna work. But then I figured out, like, the majority of them were not working, and I was putting my money in all of these things, and like they weren't giving me any dividends back. And I got really lucky with a couple of them, but it wasn't until I started to follow things that I was passionate about that those things really started to take off. Like when I fell in love with something myself, and not just thought it was a good idea, but when I was just like an actual fan of it, those things worked out way better for me. Because when you're a musician, right, like you think like you're supposed to have a clothing line, you're supposed to come out with an alcohol. I did all those things, all failed. But as soon as I started to do the kinds of things that I wanted, the kinds of things that I was passionate about, that's when the entire thing kind of flipped and changed for me.
And for the people who don't know what kind of businesses you own, you have a car wash, a fitness company, restaurant, an app, a reality show also, I heard of it?
Yes.
And a professional women volleyball team.
Yes.
Ja, für all die es noch nicht gewusst haben. Also Jason Derulo, der ist auf vielen, vielen Spuren auf jeden Fall unterwegs. Here are a lot of young people who also want to create their own business, who are looking for investors. If they want you as an investor, let me know. What kind of businesses do you invest and why? How can they convince you to invest into their ideas?
Well, the first thing you have to do is convert me into a fan of whatever the product is. If it's something that I would actually utilize in my life in some way or another, if it solves a problem of mine, not for my friend, it has to specifically solve a problem of mine. And then, if I become a fan, if I can adopt it into my life and feel like I need that in my life, then I feel like that's an idea that I would invest in. If I'm not going to eat your product myself, if I'm not gonna, want to keep asking you, hey, can you send me another bag of them chips, them protein chips? Them protein chips were so good. Send me another bag. If I'm not doing that, then I'm probably not going to invest in it.
Yeah. I already said what kind of businesses you own, but let us know, real talk. Which kind of business did you make the most money?
It is definitely set to make the most money off of my car wash business, which is called Rocket Car Wash.
Car wash.
So it's a guild of car washes all over America now, and maybe we'll bring them to Germany. I was thinking about bringing it to Germany, actually.
I mean, we're all familiar with car washes, so let me please ask, how can you make that much money with car washes?
Well, car washes are incredible because of the fact that people wash cars no matter what's going on in the world. Even during the pandemic, like, people were washing their cars. I was like, where y'all going?
Partying in the car wash.
But yeah, I think cars are people's prized possessions, right? When you're going somewhere, like you want to ride clean. That's like your external expression of yourself. Your house is one thing and your car is another. Your shoes are another. But the cars, people were washing their cars during the pandemic, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is a different kind of business. But it's also the monthly subscription model, right, where you can wash your car anytime you want, right? Like, you could have washed your car yesterday and then it rained today and you're like, let me go wash my car again, and you don't have to necessarily pay any extra money. It's really, really an affordable membership. And I think that there's so many people that want to wash their cars whenever they want to, at a very affordable price. So I think it's also something to be seen to take care of your customers. Like, Like people don't put enough emphasis on giving a good customer experience. Like when I go to other car washes, I'm shocked. Like they just don't care. Like it's no kind of vibe. When you come to Rocket, like you're gonna leave there and you're gonna be like, that was fun. Like I had an amazing experience there because we pay so close attention to who we're hiring, from the managers to the employees to the technicians, all of the best people in the world, and we pay that extra money just to give like the greatest customer experience. And when you go to a Rocket car wash as opposed to another, you're like, oh yeah, obviously I'm gonna go with Rocket car wash because it's just way better.
So Rocket Car Wash is already huge in the US. You said you're thinking about coming to Germany. Let us know more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about different places around the world, and I am Germany is such a place that's close to my heart, right? And I always talk about doing things that are organic to yourself. So yeah, it only makes sense to bring it to Germany next.
Das wäre doch was, oder? Wir alle in der Waschstraße zur Musik von Jason Derulo? Yay!
Well, thank you.
I guess they will like it. But we're talking a lot about numbers today. So be honest. Let us know. How much money do you make with a car wash in a year? Can you tell us?
I actually don't take any money from the car wash as of yet. So one day Rocket will go public, and then I'll take money at that point. But to me, all of the money goes back into it and reinvested in like more locations. Always trying to grow. I mean, thankfully, I don't need the money. So I'm able to just continue to reinvest in the actual product. And one day, once it goes public, then I'll receive some actual money. But it's a real hard thing to do, right? To see cash come in and like not take it and go buy some stuff. Like it's a really tough thing to do. But I think the growth of a company is way more important. I'm always thinking about brand first. To me, even in my own career, right? I'm always thinking about what is this show going to do for my brand? What is, I don't just take opportunities just because there's a lot of money involved, right? I'm always thinking about what is it going to do, to my name and to my reputation. So the same thing for Rocket. I'm not really looking for the money necessarily. I'm always just trying to grow it.
So we're talking about the car wash, which is absolutely working. But let us talk about maybe investments you regret, which didn't really work out.
Yeah. So I did a vodka that won all these awards for taste, around the world, and I was like, it's so funny that it won all these taste awards because I did not like the way it tasted at all. And at that time I was.
But how did you put it on the market when you didn't like the taste?
Like I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was great, And I was just like, well, I guess other people think it's great, so like, yeah, so let's go, let's push it. And it was a thing that it was kind of whoop, whoop, and like. Just like that, and I think part of it is your heart has to be in it, right? Because I'm not really going to put the work, the time, the effort into something that I don't love. And it's not necessarily your fault that you're not putting that time and that energy into something that you don't like. It's just human nature, right? We just gravitate towards things that we like, and we're going to naturally just put more energy into the things that we're interested in, right? So me not being into the vodka probably wasn't the best idea for an investment.
So no vodka from Jason Derulo.
No vodka, no
vodka shots today.
No.
You also invest in businesses in the United Arab Emirates. Why do you see so much potential over there?
So the growth in Dubai specifically has been unbelievable to watch from the sidelines. But then I was like, I don't want to be on the sidelines no more. I want to be a part of the growth. So I started to do real estate in Dubai, and I have my first building being built in Dubai.
Right now?
Yeah.
Is it already built or is it in the build?
It's being built. So in 6 months, it'll be finished. It will be my first like really large project in Dubai. But it's exciting because anything is possible in Dubai, right? I'm like, I want a swimming pool on every single balcony. And they're like, sure. I'm like, what? I'm like, I want each unit to have Versace ceramics everywhere. They're like,
Okay.
sure. I'm like, I want each room to be furnished, but I only want to charge people $400,000 and under. They're like, sure. I'm like, are you sure we're going to be able to make a profit off of this? And they were like, yes, we're going to be able to make a profit off this. In Los Angeles, to $400,000 does not buy you anything. In Dubai, this building that I'm building, for $400,000, you can have the most luxury condo that you've ever seen before. And it's so mind-boggling to me, because you guys in Germany are definitely way ahead in terms of knowing about what's going on in the Middle East. In America, we haven't got a clue what's happening in the Middle East because it's just so far. But yeah, slowly as the rest of the world finds out like what's happening in Dubai, I think there's going to be a lot more people moving there really, really quickly.
So next time when you go to Dubai, you want to live in Dubai, move to the Jason Derulo Tower.
Yeah, it's called Sky Vista. Sky Vista.
We're really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I mean, your parents, they're from Haiti.
Yeah.
Your mom invested a lot to make you a good life in the US. Sure. What does she think about all the things you accomplished in your life?
My mom is super proud. My mom is really, really proud. She was the person that taught me the meaning of hard work. You know, she was going to law school and going to work every single day and then still coming home and making dinner for us and reading us a bedtime story in the evening. I don't know how a person can do all of that and still remain sane, but she did. And yeah, I'm really thankful that I got to watch a woman like her, you know, to be that shining light.
Ja, die Mamas, die sind wichtig. Haben wir gerade eben auch schon hier bei dem 14-Jährigen gesehen, der auch ganz doll Unterstützung von Mama bekommt. Ich komme gleich noch zu dir rüber. Wir haben bestimmt gleich noch ein bisschen Zeit. What would you say are your main principles that lead to success? What would you say to all these young audience who want to, you know, build their own businesses?
How much time do I have? The people around you are really important. You are a sum of everybody that's around you. I'm sure you've heard that before. And it's a cliche for a reason. It's because it's the truth. So if you have a friend that is a negative person and they always see the glass half empty as you see the glass half full, that's a person that you probably shouldn't be around. You don't want the negativity. And if the people around you aren't happy when great things happen for you, if you feel kind of like a negative kind of connotation, if like something positive is happening and you tell them and they're not jumping for joy, that's not the person for you. The people around you should be the people that are actually in your corner. And if they don't help you propel, if they don't help you reach your goals or reach the next level in some way or another, sadly, I don't think that person should be the person that should be your friend. I truly believe that the people that we allow to be our friends should help in some way or another, and vice versa, right? You should be offering them something as they are offering you something. We should all be working together. You know, with me, I'm talking about the people that are around me. We should all be working together to equally be lifting each other up. So at the end of the day, when we look up, it's like, oh yeah, we made it. Another key to success is reading the data. I'm a numbers guy, so I'm always looking at numbers and what's happening where. When I chose the kind of music that I wanted to do, I wanted my music to be enjoyed around the world, you know, and not just a niche like small artists. I wanted it to be, you know, someone that people could pay attention to across the world. So I did my research. I was like, which kind of music do people listen to across the world? And it wasn't hip hop, it wasn't R&B, it was pop music. So I decided to write pop music, and that's when I was a teenager. That's why I went into pop music, because I did the research. When I was starting social media, I was like, what kind of videos do people watch most? So I did my homework, and it was like comedy. People consume comedy 75% more than other material. Damn. I got to get funny somehow. So I started to do comedic videos, and that's the reason why I did it. So my movements are calculated because of numbers. So I'm not oblivious to what's going on in the world. Though I follow my passions, I still follow numbers. So numbers, like, don't be oblivious to numbers. Follow the data. Yeah. Another key. You want one more?
Sure.
All right.
I think they love listening to you.
Yeah. The reason why these keys are at the tip of my tongue is because I actually wrote a book called Sing Your Name Out Loud, and it's the rules to success. I wanted to take a look at my life and kind of figure out what principles I followed that allowed me to be successful in music, in business, and social media. And those same principles remain true throughout all of those different sectors. So I was like, damn, I mean, there's so many people out here that dream so big, but they feel like their dream is too big, you know, or they feel like they're too old or they're too young to follow their dream. But what if I could give like a handbook and be like, hey, like trust me, like these things worked for me 1,000,000 times, you know? So that's why these things are at the tip of my tongue. So the next thing that I would give you as a key is embrace your failures, because they're learning experiences, right? Every time I have been at my lowest point in life is when I propelled the most. You know, in 2020, when I got released from my label. I wanted to get released from this label for a while, right? And they weren't letting me out of this deal. And I was finally able to get out of this deal. I was like, the world is going to be my oyster. Every single label is going to want to sign me. It's going to be amazing. They're going to want to give me all of this money. It's going to be crazy. As soon as I got out of that deal, I started to go to these different record labels, and then they were like, no, it's too expensive for us. No, we're not interested. Oh, it's not right for us. And I was like, what? I sold 250 million records. What do you mean? They were like, no, we don't want it. I was like,
Jeez.
This is crazy. So I decided to do it myself. So I released a song called Savage Love independently. I released a song called Take You Dancing independently as an independent artist. And I did it myself. Like I didn't depend on anybody else. And in those kinds of moments, I think there's two options. You can either cower and be like, well, that was a great career. Like I guess that was the end. Or you can embrace that failure and utilize it as fuel and be like, okay, I see what's going on here. Utilize it as fuel and then just work harder. You know, every failure that I've ever had has just put some fire inside of me. Even, you know, you can even call it a bit of an anger. You know, it's okay to be a little angry inside and utilize that anger to propel you to the next level. Anyway, I know I've been talking for a while, but those are, you know, some simple keys to success.
And really good keys, what I say.
Thank you, guys.
Jason, I guess you see this young man in the front row. I will send my husband over there. Schatz, kannst du mal kurz darüber gehen mit einem Mikrofon, bitte? You know, my husband is working for me today.
Oh, fantastic.
He's doing an internship. No. He's over there.
Every day.
Wir haben den jungen Mann von gerade eben. Der hat die ganze Zeit ein Schild hochgehalten. Er hat eine Frage.
Jetzt hört man mich?
Ja.
Und dich hoffentlich auch. Wir hatten ja gerade schon die Freude. Deine Frage an Jason Derulo.
He's 14 years old. He's building his own business. It's crazy. So, what kind of question do you have?
Hello, Jason first.
Hey,
I'm a 15-year-old barber of Germany. 1 month ago, I got the title to be the 30th best barber of all Europe. And since then, I try hard to get contact to you to make your hair fresh for today. But I can't get any contact.
Oh, man, see, I could have used you. I did my own. I don't know. I don't even know how it looks on the Jumbotron. But yeah, man.
And it's a really big dream for me to cut your hair. So, like, when you are in Germany...
Oh,
my channel.
I love that.
What do you say to so much courage?
I love that.
I want to give you my card so you can check on me. And
I will give it.
Absolutely.
I will give it to Jason.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah.
His card.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it before I leave. Let's do it before I leave, all right?
And I heard you have a gig in Regensburg, I guess, this week. So maybe before you go on stage, you have a
Come on, that's for sure, for sure. I love that.
I really love that face, so thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Absolutely.
So everybody who wants to see Jason Derulo, 30th of April in Regensburg.
Wow.
Yes.
So get tickets and go over there. And for sure, you have a new single, Snake, out there.
Yes.
I think this dance was a little bit too dirty for the young audience. I'm sorry for that. Also einen großen Applaus für diesen wunderbaren Menschen, Jason Derulo.
Give it up.
And
Wow.
I'm not supposed to mention this, so don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm doing a tour right here at the start of 2026. Don't tell nobody, though. Shh. I ain't supposed to tell nobody.
Geht auf Tour, meine Damen und Herren.
Und ihr müsst natürlich alle kommen. Also Jason Derulo kommt wieder nach Deutschland. Wir freuen uns. We're so happy having you back in Germany. So see you in 2026. 100%. We all are coming. We're having a date, guys.
Thank you so much.